Welcome back to another Lockside Ranch unboxing and review. Let's find out what we have today. Okay, first up we have this Nefelibata guitar strap. I got a green one. It has supposedly a little pick holder in it. So that's cool. Let's open it up and unbox it. And there we go. Let's put this here. It's got some picks in there. It's got a little leather kind of strap that you might use for an acoustic guitar. That's kind of cool. The string and this part, that's for acoustic guitars. Okay. All right. So it looks pretty cool. I like the canvas feel of it. That's pretty cool. I like the green a lot. Personally, I would prefer if this guitar strap were a little bit wider, but this is very inexpensive and I got it from Amazon. It is the Nefelibata guitar strap with pick pocket, head cowhide leather ends, guitar straps for bass, electric, and acoustic guitar. Come with free strap, button, 1 pair strap locks, and 4 guitar picks. This is from the Nefelibata store on Amazon. It goes right now for $15.99 on Amazon, and you can get with Prime delivery, at least here where I'm at, next day Prime delivery. So very nice. Why don't we go ahead and check it out. I'll put it on a guitar and we'll see how it looks and feels. So this guitar strap right here was also purchased from Amazon. I'm not sure if it's the same brand, but that one was nice. You can find that in the video links. Let's go ahead and put this one on this guitar. One reason that I bought this guitar strap was because I got a new guitar. It's really cool, and I thought that this black guitar might look cool with, you know, something kind of masculine, like kind of army green, olive green. Let's see. This guitar that I have here, the brand is Charvel, and this is what some refer to as a shredder guitar. You know, a lot of metal guitar players play this brand of guitar. Anyways, here it is. So that's cool. Obviously you can adjust it with the strap here, so if I want to make it a little bit longer, that's all you got to do. So that's about how I do it. And this part right here, this leather part, it feels very nice. Like, I like that leather. I like the feel. It's softer on this side, and I like the color of it as well. It's like a very dark brown. We've got this little pick holder, so why don't we go ahead and open up this as well. We'll check out the picks. This is kind of cool as well. These, they're meant to protect your guitar. So for example, you would put it, there's different ways to do it. Okay, so you could protect your guitar by putting it on this side, or you can ensure that the guitar strap doesn't come off by putting it on this side as well. Maybe that's what I'll do. This is just like a little rubber O-ring. So let's put it on here. Yeah, cool, man. There's no way that this guitar strap is coming off. That's very secure. I like that a lot. This is a nice touch. And also this material, like this rubber, it feels pretty tough. That's cool, man. So I think I'm gonna keep this strap on this guitar. So the comfort is fine. And you know, again, personally, I just kind of like stylistically the look of a slightly wider guitar strap, but this one is fine. It's completely comfortable. Let's put in one of our picks. Okay, I'll use a white one so we can see. This pick, it feels like about a medium, kind of the standard size pick. Honestly, it might be slightly smaller than like what I consider a standard pick, but nice pick. Like, that's nice. It's kind of a tortoise shell pattern on there. Looks good. Looks very good. That's a nice pick. So I can put it in there. Very nice. I can take it out if I need to. That's nice. I could store multiple picks in here. That's nice, right? So that's actually very convenient and a nice little touch. Almost makes me want to sew a little pocket, a pick pocket, into all my other straps, because that's very convenient. All right, cool. So what is this? This is if you have an acoustic guitar like I have over here. A lot of times you would want to put this up here at the neck of the guitar, and then you would use this string. You know what? I haven't done it in quite a while, but this is literally, it's just like a little shoestring. So there's different ways to do it. I think I'm not going to bother showing you how this goes on an acoustic guitar, because if you are an acoustic guitar player, then you're going to know how to use this. And frankly, I never use them, because my acoustic guitar, it has a button right here, so I just use it like the same way as this. But at any rate, like I said, this, if you're an acoustic guitar player, you'll know how to use this, and you'll know how to use this. And the button on here is very nice. It's like a brassy looking metal. This is nice. This leather feels good. This slot where you would button it in like this feels nice and tight. You can hardly get it in there, which is probably what you want. Ooh, it's tough. Come on, buddy. Yeah, we go. So, you know, that's cool. Basically, you'd put this on here, and then you would, I haven't done it in so long, I can't remember how you use this, but like I said, if you know how to do it, you'll know how to do it. And this feels like good material. I'm not super thrilled about this right here. This is literally just a shoestring, a short shoestring. So I'd say it's lacking right here, but I'm not going to use that anyways. And the price is really good. Like I said, it's under $16 right now, and it came the next day. And this is, I don't know how they could make something and ship it from wherever they shipped it for less than 16 bucks, but this is nice. Also, this hardware right here, that's nice. It's like this brass metal. And yeah, cool. Same deal over here. It's got that leather. It looks really cool. I think it looks really good. It's I need to clean this guitar, but I think these look very good together. So I'm very happy. I now have like kind of 4 textures on this guitar. I've got the black, which I like. I've got the olive green, which I like. I've got the kind of cowhide metal or cowhide leather, which I like. I don't know if it's cowhide or not, but it's leather. And then like as a little metal accent, I have this kind of brass. So overall, very nice. I like that the stopper here, again, it feels durable and rugged. So good. Okay. All right. So if you are interested in purchasing this guitar strap, you can use the affiliate links in this video. Doesn't cost you anything more, but it really helps Lockside Ranch. It helps us support this channel and do all the things we're trying to do. It'd be awesome if you could use that and leave a comment as well. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you think about this strap. Tell me what you think about the color. You know, oh, hey, you know what? Another thing that I should mention is this part right here. This is plastic, but it feels quite durable, thick plastic, strong. I'm happy with that. This kind of controls how long and short you have your strap. Okay, the next thing that I'm going to review is this pipe insulation foam tube. Purchased from Amazon. Foam pipe insulation for pipe freeze protection and sharp edge protection. This is 1.5 inch interior diameter, and it's by 3/8 inch thick, and it's 6 feet of piping. Okay, and I'll show you why I purchased it. I don't know if it's going to work, but if you want some of this, you can buy it from Amazon. It was purchased from the Cargen store, Cargen, for $7.99. Okay, and it came the next day. Let's open this up. Again, if you're interested in purchasing this, you can do so with the Amazon links in the video description, which helps out our channel very much, and it doesn't cost you anything more. Okay, cool. So, here's what it came in. That's fine. Why did I buy this? Well, we're going to show you now. This right here is a guitar stand. It's an old guitar stand, and I don't know what is going on, but it's very dangerous. Right here, where this supports the neck, if there was ever some kind of rubber here, it's come off. And this part right here, this rubber is kind of hard, but the guitar doesn't sit well. This is an expensive guitar that I love, and I do not want it to be damaged. But as you can see, I don't know, I'm worried about it. I'm always worried about it. So my thinking was that if I put this piping on here, it will be a little bit more supported. Let's find out. So I'm hoping that I will simply be able to put this right on top. Okay, so it's a good fit. That's good. That's good. So I'll just go ahead and push it all the way up here. Okay. So that's fine. And I'll snip it off with my box cutter here. There's that. And, I'll probably put some kind of little button on the end to keep it from moving out. There's different ways I can deal with that, but for now, let's just carry on with this. Push this here. Push like that. Okay. And let's snip this off. Okay. Now we got this. All right, good stuff. All right. I'm going to put it up the top of the wheel. Bring this down. Let's see. I don't know if you can see this, but put it on like that. Good. Here's one. Okay. And here's the other. Put that one there. Like that. Careful not to cut oneself. All right, cool. Put it there. Spin around so you can see it. Put this here like that. Okay, so let's give it a test out here. Yeah. Look, it's not perfect. It's not perfect, but that's way, way better than what it was before. Now, actually, guitar stands are pretty darn cheap. You can buy like a nice guitar stand of this style or other styles for less than 30 bucks. It's probably going to be somewhere between $25 to $30, something like that. But this can fix 2 of my existing guitar stands for what this was $7.99. It's ugly, and there are still some things that I'm going to have to do. I'm going to have to find a way I could just glue it, honestly. I could just spray some glue on this and slide it on. That's probably the easiest way and what I may end up doing. Nothing wrong with that. The other option is to put some kind of little button on these. That might be good as well. Put a button on the end somehow, maybe a nut, anything like that. A clamp could be good as well, but those are all cheap but the main thing is that I don't want to have to throw these guitar stands away, and I have a bunch of them. So if I were to buy a new guitar stand or guitar stands, then what am I going to do with these things now that I've got more clutter everywhere? So anyways, this was just a cheaper solution that kind of recycled what I have already. I'm like pretty satisfied with this. This is way, way safer than it was before. So I can handle that. Yeah, good stuff. All right, so again, this is pipe insulation, foam tube, foam pipe insulation for pipe freeze protection and sharp edge protection. This is the half-inch diameter, half-inch ID, half-inch inner diameter by 3/8 inch thick, 6-foot length of this product on Amazon. I use it for my guitar stands. Okay, this is to refurbish my guitar stands. It's to recycle and reuse my guitar stands. It's for the neck support and the bottom support of the guitar stands. Replacement for that. And it's $7.99 for the 6-foot length of this. And if you want to purchase it, consider using the affiliate links in the video description to get the right one. And also, doesn't cost you anything more, but it really helps out Lockside Ranch and this channel and everything we're trying to do. So I would really appreciate it. All right, that's that. And let's move on to the next product review and unboxing. Okay, so the last thing that we have here for unboxing, these are Ernie Ball Super Slinky guitar strings. This is what's called 942. I don't know if other folks might say it a different way, but the product description, and this is from the Ernie Ball store, is Ernie Ball Super Slinky nickel wound guitar strings, 3-pack, 9 to 42 gauge. Okay, these are, how do I put it? These are like canonical guitar strings. All guitar players know about these strings. Many folks consider this like kind of the gold standard. This particular gauge, 9x42, is extremely popular. I'd say it is the standard. What does that mean? It means that as far as guitar strings go, these are pretty light, but not super light. Lighter means thinner, the gauge, right? The higher the gauge of the strings, the thicker they're going to be. These are 9s. We just call them 9s. So how I've always heard them called. They always come in the pink so that you can, identify them. I think the 10s come in like a yellowish, limey green pack, and so on. Oh, actually, you can see right here. Yeah, there we go. So here's the 11s. Okay, here's 8s. So you can buy them in the different gauges. Basically, the higher the gauge, the more it's going to hurt to play. So where are the ones that we have here? Here's ours, the pinks. Okay, cool. So I use these strings on all of my guitars, and I should mention that if you're a guitar player or you're trying to become a guitar player and you're not super familiar with changing your string gauge, be aware that you have to have your guitar set up. You don't have to, but you need to. And what I mean is a guitar, right? There's something called action, and it's like, it's the space. The action is the space between your string and the fretboard. A wider spacing is harder to play. But if you get it too close together, then you can have like buzzing because the strings will touch the frets when you don't want them to. There are springs in the back of the guitar. So in here, there are some springs, and there are actually 5 springs typically, and you can take some of them out. A lot of guitar players, they only have 3 of the 5 springs installed at any given time. I think that's how this one is. Yep, that's how this one is. And also there's a truss rod that runs through the neck of the guitar, and what happens is the strings, like the tension of the strings, they pull your neck up like this. See? They pull it, and due to weather conditions and humidity and all kinds of other stuff, that neck, it moves all over the place, right? So there's a tool that you use, and you insert it in here, and it can resist the curvature of the strings. So you turn that truss rod, and at any rate, I only bring all this stuff up because as a service announcement to guitar players, if you buy a new guitar, you should determine what gauge strings you want to use on your guitar. You should have different guitars, really, for different gauge strings. You should have, ideally, different guitars for different tunings. So you might have 9s, like this, on one of your guitars, and it's in a particular tuning. So standard tuning, E440, if you know what that is. But the reason that you want to have a guitar for a certain type of string and also a certain type of tuning is because you want to buy more guitars, and you need a damn good reason. And that's the best reason, because you can actually potentially damage your guitar if you, like, for example, use super heavy gauge strings and it wasn't set up for it, and you use some particular kind of tuning and things get too tight. Yeah, it could damage your guitar permanently. Could damage the tuners, could damage all kinds of stuff, right? So the other reason that you want to use a different guitar for different strings and tunings and whatnot is because in order to be a good player, it's good to be well-rounded, but if you're going to play with these different styles, if you're going to emulate different players, Stevie Ray Vaughan, he's going to use very heavy strings and typically a half step down tuning. And you know what I mean? It's like all over the place. So you want to just be able to grab a guitar for that particular style. And you don't want to have to go through the process of changing the tunings and changing the strings and all of that stuff, because aside from the fact that it's inefficient and it's going to slow down your learning and it's not as enjoyable, so you won't play as much, it's not going to stay in tune as well. The action won't be as good. So what you got to do is you need to have different strings for your guitars and your different tunings. And then you need to have a professional set up your guitar. They have special tools. They have all these special fancy measuring devices where they can get the action of the string just how it needs to be, and they can ensure that the neck is super straight and it's not curving and all kinds of other stuff. So anyways, I'm just telling you that I love these strings. I use them all the time. I use different strings as well. I use elixirs, I use Diodarios, I use different strings, but these are kind of like the gold standard. Get the strings, get more guitars, have your guitar set up. Make sure there's something else I would say to guitar players as well. I like using talcum powder. This is Johnson's. I have like a review of this on this channel as well. And if you do just a little dusting before you play, I believe it not only preserves the life of your strings, but it's way easier to play because things are smoother. Just like when you go play pool, there's like that talcum powder thing and you get your hands. So it's a lot easier to slide around on the neck, but it also cleans the guitar, believe it or not, because what happens is on the strings and on the neck of the guitar, all your oils and like the dirt and stuff, it gets on the neck. But when you use this identifies, it kind of like congeals on those gross areas, and it allows you to like kind of rub it all off. It like just balls up in a little ball and you flick it off. So if you're going to buy these, I highly recommend, yes, $18.97 on Amazon. By the way, this is the 3-pack, okay? So inside here are 3 sets of strings. I'm not going to open the package because once they're exposed to oxygen and air, they'll start to kind of corrode. So you want to, until you're ready to use them, keep them in the pack. And by the way, when you open this and you use one set, you need to put the other set in a plastic baggie and make sure it's sealed and like airtight. If you buy them in bulk, it's cheaper, right? So you know you're going to be learning guitar this year. Try to get the best deal on 30 sets of strings, and you keep them in sealed in a pack, and then ideally you would have gotten the best deal, and they're not going to corrode on you. Please give this video a like and a thumbs up if any of that was useful to you. Consider trying out a little deal of baby powder, talcum powder, whatever you call it. Consider finding your local guitar smith and having them set up your guitar. Consider using the same strings and the same tuning for just one particular guitar. You don't have to go get it set up every time. You just get it set up once, right? That's the other nice thing about doing what I'm suggesting, because if you have it set up for these strings and a particular tuning, and then you put other heavier strings or lighter strings or whatever else it is you're going to do, it can kind of like knock out the setup of the guitar, and then you might have to do it again. It just won't be as perfect as it was when it gets back from the guitar smith. So support your local guitar smith, and also buy more guitars. Buy the strings, buy this stuff, buy more guitars, buy the straps. Every guitar you get, you're going to have to put a new strap on it. It's a good reason to buy another strap. And you might even buy multiple tuners. That's a little outrageous, but it's not a bad idea, because sometimes you lose your tuners, or the tuners on the other side of the room and you need a couple duplicates. Cool. All right. Well, anyways, I'll leave it at that. And please consider using the affiliate links. It doesn't cost you anything more, but it helps out this channel. And consider giving a like and a thumbs up to the channel, subscribe, all that stuff. And go get some strings and enjoy playing.